Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for the VICKI BOUTIN design team, and today I'm going to show you a layout that is all about layering mixed media, and I mean quite a few layers. So I am starting with a foundation paper with no yeso, but I'm going to suggest that to work this you add yeso to the foundation paper. Now I am showing you a condensed version of the video, but the layers of mixed media that I added, I'm gonna make sure that they dry completely before I go on to the next one. Now, like I said again, you're gonna see just a little piece of it, so you're gonna think that I work all continuously, and I didn't. It took me a while, and that's why I didn't yes on my paper. But if you wanna work all in a single row and without stopping that much long in between, then I'll suggest you yes on your paper. So now we're gonna go into the layer. What I want to create in this is I'm gonna layer mixed media. So I'm starting with the lightest color. I want to create, literally I wanted to create a line and then the mixed media or the watercolor to the right of it. So you're gonna see that I mixed a little bit of the ochre crayon with some of the yellow. I scribbled that on a piece of acrylic. I added some water just to dilute it, and then I am gonna put it on my foundation paper, and I'm gonna form the line with the acrylic sheet, and that's just gonna create that line. And you're gonna see right now that sometimes when you kiss the paper, like Vicky calls it, like, you know, with the plastic wrap, when you lift out the paper, it forms that line, because that's just the way they kind of think of it as suction of the water when you're lifting out the paper. I want to take advantage of that line to create that vertical line, and you're gonna see it looks like I drag paint, and that's pretty much the idea, that it looks like I had a straight line and I drag the paint to the right. And all I'm doing right now is just adding splatters, kind of softening the line. And then just to finish that, you're gonna see that I am actually gonna mix a little bit more of the paint. I'm kind of stretching. You can see that I'm gonna form kind of a triangular design for this. But just to finish this, I am actually gonna mix a little bit more of the crayon and just add splatters to, think of it like I said, a triangle, so the three corners of the little triangle. And I'm gonna set it aside to dry. Now I'm gonna make sure this layer dries completely before I start on the next layer. And here's what I said: if you want to work this continuously, then add some yeso, because we're gonna add quite a bit of water. Now I let it sit for a while before I went on to the next layer of mixed media, so my page is gonna show a very little warping, and that's because I let it dry completely before I continue working. Now for my next layer, I'm gonna continue layering watercolor, and this time I'm mixing a little bit of the teal art crayon with a little bit of the light green. And again, you're gonna see that I mixed it. I'm gonna kind of make sure the paint kind of drops in a straight line, and then I'm gonna literally drag it to the right, and then I just want to make sure that I accent that line. So you're gonna see that slowly you can see where my paint started and how it got dragged towards the right. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just gonna soften the edges, and I'm gonna add splatters, kind of form that triangular shape. And some of the splatters, just because I want a little to stretch the tail a little bit more, you're gonna see that I'm gonna come in with the brush and kind of soften them, kind of join them together, and that's just gonna create a little blob or a little puddle of watercolor and take away the look of just having a splatter. And that's all I want. Because the teal fell on top of the yellow, is gonna form that green, and I'm okay with that. I want all the variation of color. So again, I'm gonna set this aside to dry completely before I start working on the blue. Now that I have that ready, I'm actually gonna mix 3 shades of blue: the light blue, some of I'm gonna say the 3 medium shades of blue. Again, same procedure. I'm gonna apply the straight line right to the left of the teal and literally kiss or drag the paint towards the right, forming that line. And you're gonna see that you see those 3 lines really marked already on the left hand side of the layout, and that's what I wanted to create. I wanted just that line. You're gonna see that I kind of form a triangle. To me, it looks more as a T design, and that's gonna help me with my design. So again, I'm just stretching, softening the edges of the dragging motion, and then I'm just gonna add splatters to the 3 corners, 3 corners of this design. Just kind of soften a little bit of the splatters because I don't want it to be so round. I want it to soften and kind of mingle with the other colors. And I'm gonna set it aside to dry completely before I come back for more mixed media. Like I said, this It's all about mixing or layering mixed media in a subtle way. And you're gonna see that I already have 3 layers of mixed media, and that's the 3 watercolors. I'm gonna suggest again, I'm gonna repeat it because I know a few people are gonna ask me. Add yeso to the bottom, and that's gonna avoid like having the warping on the paper. You're gonna see that my paper is not that warped, and it's because I let it dry completely before I continue working. This layout took me pretty much an entire morning and more, just because I wanted to make sure that it dried completely. Now what I want to create, and you saw the pictures that I brought, that is my husband driving the van, and that's me sitting next to it, and in between is our dog. He loves to go on rides, and he'll let me do whatever I want to him, as putting glasses or hats or anything, as long as we take him with us. So I have tons of pictures of him with glasses, with hats, with toques, just because he's let us. Literally, we can dress him up as long as we take him in the car. So I'm gonna bring this stencil. This is one of the new stencils from the Let's Wander collection, and I love the fact that it looks like a map, like a city map. So I'm gonna take advantage of that to add onto my background, but I want something really soft, kind of create just a soft shadow on the background. So I'm using the new texture paints. I picked Blue Hawaiian because I already have the color on the background, and I'm gonna apply it with my stencil brush. So all I'm doing is picking up a little bit with my brush and going in a circular motion on top of the stencil, and that's just going to create a ghost impression. I'm going to let it set it aside for a little bit to completely set before I come in with the next step. Now I really want to bring the stars stencil onto this layout, and I consider 2 things: either making the stars really stand out and bringing into a texture paste, but I want to soften some of the lines. So my choice is I'm going to go with some molding paste, and I'm just applying it with palette knife through the stencil. So I'm gonna bring the texture, and you're gonna see they look pretty white and bright, so they are gonna show in my layout, not fully because I have a lot of white space, but it's a great way to add texture. And unbeknownst, not unbeknownst, but like, you know, softly, I've added 5 layers of mixed media, and they all look nice and cohesive. Nothing is muddled, and then I have texture, I have color, and I have dimension just with the mixed media. So again, the keys here are, the key to create this is you have to let your layers dry completely. One, soft, nothing really heavy. Go small, start small, and then add on to it. Don't start with something big, because it's hard to take away. It's easy to add but hard to take away. So I'm gonna set that aside to dry completely and start working on the paper layers for this layout. And what I'm adding is I backed both the pictures with that big paper that has that teal blobs. I backed one of them with the A side and the other one with the B side, and I'm gonna back them, both of them, with that beautiful yellow paper that has the paper airplanes. And then I'm gonna attach them onto my layout using a little bit of foam adhesive. I just want a little bit of a lift, kind of make it stand out. And you're gonna see how a lot of my mixed media is not gonna be covered. You're gonna see peaks of everything, and I don't mind it. I already have the mixed media. It's creating that background motion. It's giving me, I'm gonna say, kind of like giving me the spaces where everything is gonna go. So I know something's gonna go on the top left corner of the layout, because that's where the dragging lines start. I know something's gonna go on the top left, top right corner of the picture, because that's where the other kind of tip of the triangle hits, and something's gonna go in between the 2 pictures at the bottom of the 2 pictures, because I have the space there. So you see how I creating my mixed media so that I have everything is gonna peak without overtaking everything. So all I'm doing right now is the same yellow paper that I used to back the pictures. It has these beautiful paper airplanes, and they kind of have like a trail, and they have a little note hanging. I'm gonna fussy cut around 3 of them with those little notes. I want to take advantage of those little notes to bring more movement onto this layer. So I took it out of camera, cut around 3 of them, because I knew I gotta add my little triangle. And then all I'm doing right now is just gonna start working on the title. It's gonna be a really long title. It's gonna be, getting there is half the fun. And like I said, for us, taking our dog on a ride, because we run a lot of errands, it's the funniest thing, because he wears glasses, took whatever we put on him, as long as we let him sit between us in the car. So I've already put some of the alphas from the latest release. I love them. I bought 2 more sets, and I'm already out of E's, I'm already out of T's. So you're gonna see that I'm using the 3's to be the E's. And all I'm gonna do this time is I want to add a really soft look onto the letters. I want to add a little bit of color. For this, I am actually gonna use the watercolor markers, and you're gonna see that I'm mixing a little bit of mint julep and a little bit of blue Hawaiian. I just want a soft variation of both of them. And all I'm doing is I'm using Vicky's water brushes, and that's just because the barrel already has water, so I'm able to dilute it as I am painting. And I'm going to be very careful just to add the pigment to the inside outline of the letters. And I'm going to make sure that the bottom, the there, is more towards the blue Hawaiian color of the markers, and the top, the getting, is going to be more of the mint julep, so more of a green tone of the watercolor markers. I'm going to set them aside to dry for a little bit. It took no time, and then I'm gonna glue them right in the little nook or the little space in between the pictures. So you're gonna see that I added glue, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just start putting all the things in place. And I'm adding glue because when you add mixed media onto the paper, it just kind of creates a gritty background or surface, so you need to add a little bit extra glue just to make sure the alphas don't move. So you're gonna see that once I spell my entire title, the big part of my title, the getting there, I'm actually gonna bring, these are some mini alphas. I think they're from Paige Evans, at least a year or 2 years ago. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring on, they have a navy and white. I'm gonna spell again, my title is getting here is half the is going to be on the navy mini alphas, and the word fun, I'm going to put it on the white alphas, but I'm actually going to add a little bit of color to them. So you're going to see right now that I'm just adding the word fun, and then I'm going to bring the crushed pineapple watercolor marker, and I'm going to add a tiny little bit of the pigment just at the base of each one of the letters of the word fun, and then I'm gonna come in with the water brush and just stretch the pigment. And because this is foam, it kind of soaks into the it kind of soaks into the foam, so it looks vibrant, but it's not. It becomes really light. Once that's ready, it's all about embellishing, and I'm not gonna add much. I found this photo up ahead, and I thought it was perfect for this layout. And you're gonna see that every place that I add a cluster, I'm gonna add those little paper airplanes, and that's what's gonna tie my layout together. Besides the colors and the stars, I just want to repeat some of the embellishments, some of the ideas, so that it's all cohesive. So I'm just adding my my little paper airplanes. So you're gonna see that I'm gonna add one on the top left corner of the pictures, one on the top right corner of the bottom picture, and the other one's gonna be at the bottom of the title. And then I'm just gonna the little note that is coming, or that the airplane, it's trailing behind, it's gonna be what's gonna help me add the movement onto this layer. After that, I'm gonna make sure, just because I added that phrase sticker that's in black, I'm gonna add a few more black accents onto this layout. I'm also gonna bring some of the chipboard stars from the Let's Wonder collection, just because I have the stars on the background. I'm bringing some of that. The page tab is from the tablet. The sticker tablet from the Let's Wonder collection. Just because I have black there, I have to add a little bit more black. So I bring these little stickers, that ones that geotag, again from the sticker tablet, and I added a little star at the bottom. After that, I'm just gonna add some puffy stickers, and these ones are from Wildflower and Honey. Just I brought some of the stars, and I think that's about it. The only thing that you don't see me do is I'm gonna add my lines of journal right on the right of the layer underneath that dream airplane. And then I came in with the stamp set from the Let's Wonder collection that had those squiggly arrows, and just stamped them just to kind of bring the focus onto the pictures. That's about it. This layout, it did take me some time, like I said, because I left everything to dry on its own without hitting it or anything like that. But I love how this turned out. Super fun. It was easy to put together, and like I said, the key to layering mixed media is to have patience. And I hope you try it. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Make sure you check the blog for more information, and thank you so much for joining me. Take care, guys.